we're gonna try to do it in the rear, and you can already see where it's taken hold. I'm kind of scared to keep looking under there, but you know, the idea is to take it, coat it with some rust preventative, and hopefully it won't get any worse. Like, howdy, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and we're back with the Rescue White one owner D1, finally-ish. And let's talk about what's happened in the last few months. All right, so she's approved the work. What are you doing, head gasket and front timing cover?
Head gasket and front crank seal.
Crank seal.
Not full timing cover.
Yeah, but head gasket, that's
Yeah.
good. So a little update on our, I guess, semi-rescue D1 from the video a couple weeks back. The lady that bought this new, apparently at the Richmond Land Rover dealer, posted it for sale. We chatted. She didn't really want to sell it. She wanted to fix it, but got the runaround from a lot of other shops. And we kind of, let her know that it's something that is our bread and butter that we can help her with. And she approved at least most of the major-ish recommendations for the Gems V8 that was, pretty much original, but obviously it suffered from all the long-term Land Rover related leaks from, head gasket. It was leaking all over the place. So I think we're probably going to fix 65% of the issues, but it'll be good enough to let her run it up and down the highway and not worry about any major additional oil expenditure for the near time being. So give it a semi-new lease on life. And I guess after that, I'm going to play with the interior a little bit, try to fix some of the broken plastics, remove a lot of this porous material under the carpets to prevent some further rust intrusion, do the part in the back, just try to get it so it can sit a little bit better without any, further concerns of structural degradation. How about that? We'll take it. Now, last time you saw this particular D1, again, for the backstory, right? I had went to look at the car. The car was for sale. It was an older lady that owned it. She'd bought it new from the dealer in Richmond in 1996 when this thing was built, and she's had it ever since. She put it up for sale for $5,000, and I went to go look at it, thinking I might buy it. I ended up talking to her and really kind of got her whole backstory. The fact that she loved the car, that it had been to many different shops. She'd received a lot of ridiculous quotes. Everyone was trying to buy the car, offer her $500 for it, or told her that the engine was bad. And none of them offered her a solution to fix it. So I invited her to come check out our shop and sat down, and we discussed what the plan would be to get this thing running and on the road. She didn't want to just get rid of it. I asked her, what everyone offered her a tiny bit of money for it, and no one gave her, again, a solution to get it up and running because she wanted to keep it and she wanted to drive it. Hey Max, what's going on, buddy? Is this a white car? Is this a cool white car? So fast forward a couple months later, and we've done some work to it, and I'll talk about that here in a second. All right, so let's start with the engine, and that's really where we're going to focus on here, because if you remember last time we talked about this car, it was leaking oil. Now, it was leaking oil from all the usual places that these leak oil. It was leaking oil from the front timing cover, and some of the other pulleys, and just pretty much, it was so much oil that you really couldn't identify where it was coming from. And maybe that wasn't picked up on the first part of the diag, but after we got up on the lift and started looking around, we thought it was transmission, we thought it was this, but it really ended up being, the two big one was the front timing cover was it was pouring oil. And I think what was happening is it was kind of hitting the air as the car would move and just kind of push back towards the rest of the engine. And the other thing was a head gasket. It needed a head gasket because obviously it's a original head gasket 4-liter disco. So that's really the two big things that we did. It also looked like, freshened up some of the plugs and the wires and a bunch of other little knickknacks, fixed a lot of the vacuum leaks, general once-over. Hose, all the things that these things really need to be kind of brought back to life and ensure that it's going to have, some more reliable miles under it. So there's, again, the finished product. This is not something that's really aesthetically pleasing or that much different, but the valve cover gaskets, the whole thing, it's no longer pissing oil, and it's, you know, it gives the peace of mind that the car will survive for a few more years and can be a little bit more reliable and not something you have to monitor every 30 seconds. So mission accomplished, at least on that front. So as I mentioned, this wasn't a charity case or anything. The person simply wanted to find an honest shop that would perform work to make the car drivable and give her continual use out of it. Like I said, she didn't want to get rid of it. So that's been accomplished. So that was step one, mechanical things. The thing drives great. It idles beautifully. Actually, let me fire it up and you can hear it. Super smooth, running 4-liter D1. Yeah, you know, it's just back to normal, right? That's really all you're looking for in a lot of these trucks. So it starts, it runs, it drives. She can drive it. I think the part two of what, you know, the deal was that we struck was I was going to do the Addicted Motor Special, right? What we're going to do, you know, is try to remove a lot of the porous material under the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and the rear cargo area to help prevent further corrosion due to water intrusion. I'm not fixing the problem completely, but what I'm doing is ensuring the car at least has a shot of a little bit longer of a life by removing all that wet, moisture-ridden underfloor stuff. So as the car sits for the next few years, I don't know how much she's going to drive it, it's not going to get worse when it comes to rust. So the thing I tell everyone to do when they buy a Disco, right? Pull these mats out, pull these rails off, pull this carpet up, and get rid of all that porous moisture holding this in the truck. So we're going to do that in the front. We're going to try to do that in the back if it's bad. And most importantly, we're going to try to do it in the rear, and you can already see where it's taken hold. I'm kind of scared to keep looking under there, but you know, the idea is to take it, coat it with some rust preventative, and hopefully it won't get any worse. Changing the world, but I feel like that'll give this truck and the owner a shot to enjoy it for a few more years. Then there's this Binnacle. I don't know how I'm going to be able to fix this. I told her I'd give it a shot. I've got this D2 Binnacle here that I might be able to swap some parts off of, but the way these are attached, it's not looking good about how I'm going to get it off. So, you know, little stuff like that. It's not the end of the world, but I think I can get things in a better state than it was when we started. All right, so this tripod actually gets up pretty high into everything. So let's start the carnage. Let's pull this mat out. It is a real SE7 with a third row. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. Oh look, there's
things back here. Wonderful. Basically, we just kind of want to it's off the ground thing. At least get the carpet moved aside. There's some of your access panels and all this. That's not what we came here for. This is what we came here for, and it's funny. It looks like someone's already been in there to replace a fuel pump because, oh boy, this is what we're doing. We are replacing, we're pulling all this out. The moisture holder. We made a big pile over there. Man. I don't know why people don't.
all right. So that's out, and you know, it could be worse. I'm not saying it's great, but I think that's the first step. So what we do here, vacuum out the rest of this rust, sand it down real quick, just hit it with some rust inhibitor, just to kind of help seal it off, staunch the advancement. But the main thing is these panels back here and around the wheel wells and everything, they look good. This panel, this piece here, you can cut out and replace fairly easily if you care. But the rest, it gets a little more complicated when it comes to the fab work involved. But this pile of junk is what came out of it. I'm having a little bit of an ADD moment because my backyard is currently full of all these Rovers. There's a lot going on. This one finishing up for her. This one, prepping for Bring a Trailer. It's the 90 4.6 swap 5-speed 2-door. Formerly Commonwealth Classics truck, now done, finished off by Jimmy Kelly and his team. So that's going to Bring a Trailer. I'm still waiting to get the things figured out and finished on my D1 5-speed. I got the skid plate on, but just don't have a lot of time for everything else. So let's check out and see what the driver's side looks like. I don't want to mess up her plastic, so this might be, I might have to do some cut and paste. All right, so that piece of trim came off, and the first thing I'm seeing is that this looks pretty good. I was worried that you know, the sill might have been subjected to a little bit more exposed moisture than it seems to have been. So I'm not upset with that, man. None of these ever. All these Phillips head screws for the seats and the plastics, they just they don't ever want to come out. They are just always so rusted. Yeah. Just want to fight you. So maybe we'll leave that one in. Gonna try to get around the car, but we're still not at where we need to get to. That's right here. And yeah, all right. There's a couple little pieces. Now it's already wet, I can feel it. So this is where we're gonna start ripping out. So let me get that nut off and go from there. All right, so we got the carpet unsecured now. Kind of move that up out of the way. Unfortunately, this is already cracked, so can't really hurt it anymore. And that exposes what we're looking for here, where these all go bad. All right, moment of truth. Yep, already wet. Watching me rip out moldy carpets of a Land Rover. You're a true fan, or a psychopath, or a sicko, or I don't know what to call you. But oh yeah, that's a nice cut. Come on out of here. All right, here she comes. So here we are. Actually, that's not great, but that's not terrible either. That is acceptable, I think, for a car that's never had anything done to it. Seems like the sills are pretty good. The floors are okay. Minus that back bit. We'll do the passenger side. We'll get this all vacuumed up, put a little sealant on it, and call it a day. All right, so I sanded, I vacuumed, I coated. So again, this is not a permanent fix. I want to hear it in the comments, but it's protection. We've got the thing that holds moisture out. We've got the rust sanded down a little bit, and we've got it coated, at least in the back and in the front. And then we're going to check the passenger side, and that's probably going to be it. Like I said, we're not redoing the car. We're just, you know, helping it out a little bit. That's all. It's the best I can do. I'm not charging any money. This is Troy does something for free, which, you know, that's everything I do, I guess. All right, so passenger side looks great. Really nothing to even do there. Just probably sand it down, vacuum it out, and that side's good. Everything was still damp and moist, but it didn't suffer as bad as the driver's side. All this carnage in a one truck to the dump. All right, so that's all back together. I found at least a partial switch to fix, well, at least the missing bits on that passenger switch. This is gonna, but I do have time to wash it, so we're just gonna hit it with the power washer real quick and just clean it up in case she has to pick it up sooner than I'm expecting. Because again, this is kind of an off-hours project. All right, just a quick wash. That's all we're doing here. And yeah, looks more like a all stock original white disco now. Little things. A lot of little things bring together something that makes it a little bit bigger. So we're not done with this yet. We'll try to do a round 2 to fix some of the little plastic things, but you know, it's a huge improvement since when we started. So here we are with the old new Binnacle, and so this piece is separate than this piece, and these are glued and really they're just bonded on there, and I can't really separate them. So what I've done is forced them. I'm melting off these little tabs, little circular tabs, which allows me to cut them off, and then they'll separate. I just have to do this one and that one, and then I'm just basically getting a knife and just cutting it off, and then they'll separate, and then I should get this thing free, and that means we're 50% there. Nice. Doesn't take that much heat. I think it does. All right. Still hot. Oh, there you go. And she is free. Look at that. That was, I kind of thought that would work, but I'm pretty impressed that it actually did. If you remember, this is the state of the old one. Way worse, but luckily this piece is in good condition. So just have to re-separate everything. All right, so I think I had a little bit of success. Let's check out what that replacement on the cheap Binnacle looks like. Boom, it's like a normal car again. Look at that. So, so this is a D2 bottom. This is her original top. And through the magic of heat and persuasion, we've come together and bonded these two things together. It's not perfect, but heck, at least it's presentable. It's a lot better than it was before. She can drive it and other people can drive it without feeling like it's gonna completely fall apart. And it just makes it a little more presentable and usable. So I'm happy. That was kind of a quick, DIY fix, but that's all I'm trying to do here. So that's it for the mechanical portion. I think it turned out pretty well. We've washed it. We fixed the Binnacle. We've removed all the rusts, water holding, carpet cleansing, rubber bullshit out of the car. And the shop has done the head gasket, the front timing cover, and a few other bits that makes this truck roadworthy. So after a couple weeks, or actually a couple months, she'll have her truck back. It'll be good to go and probably reliable for the next few years at least. Again, it's an old Land Rover, so there's a little bit of transfer case wine. So there's other things going on. She didn't approve the whole list. Let's be honest. So, it'll at least get around for a little bit. So that's how she looks. Again, it drives wonderfully. There's really not much else. So I hope you like this kind of Rover rescue adjacent episode. If you want to watch the original episode where we picked up the truck, let me know in the comments. She's going to be picking it up next week. So, I hope she's happy. It'll keep another Land Rover owner happy. Prevent someone from buying another new one that they might not like, and keeping the kind of passion alive for someone who's owned this truck since new. So it's kind of cool to see that story come together. Unfortunately, the owner is not around right now, so she won't be picking it up to meet her, but you know, it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next Addicted Motors, whatever I do, type of episode. Thank you. Bye.